Now, some heartbreaking video of a boy on a treadmill, but prosecutors say not by choice. They say his dad was forcing him to run during months of abuse that ultimately led to the boy's death.
In this video, we are going to explore the captivating story of Christopher Gregor, a father with a troubled past, accused of something unthinkable, the death of his own son, Cory Michiolo. Reports say Cory was forced to run on a treadmill until something awful happened. But what caused such a terrible event? Welcome to True Crime Tangles. Join us to find out. And stay with us until the end, because what we're going to unfold will truly shock you. Christopher Gregor was born on May 1st, 1992, in the heart of New Jersey. He went to Monroe Township High School, where he made a name for himself as a top football player. After finishing school, he tried out college in Middletown, Connecticut, but things took a bad turn in November 2010. That month, Christopher got into trouble with the law. He was accused of stealing from a dorm room and getting into a fight with two students while trying to escape. Reports said he used his fists and elbows in the fight, which landed him in trouble. Despite this rough patch, Christopher didn't give up. By 2013, he found himself in Florida, working first as a marketing intern and then as a sales associate. But it wasn't until 2016 that things started to look up. He got his bachelor's degree in psychology and worked in real estate in New Jersey. In June 2017, Christopher took a different path and became a math teacher in Baltimore, Maryland. But trouble seemed to follow him, with more run-ins with the law between August 2017 and April 2018, including assault, robbery, and damaging public property. Despite these challenges, Christopher kept going. In February 2018, he went back to working in real estate in New Jersey, while also studying for a master's degree in teaching, which he finished in 2019. But amid his professional pursuits, his personal life got complicated. Enter Brianna Mitello, a teen who would change Christopher's life. They had a son together, Cory Mitello, on May 1st, 2014. But Christopher didn't know he was the father until Brianna asked for child support later on. They ended up sharing custody, but Christopher got full custody in March 2020 because Brianna had problems with drugs. What a complicated life. Now, fast forward to March 20th, 2021, when Christopher and his son headed to the gym at the Atlantic Heights apartment complex, their home spot. Cameras caught their every move. At first, Christopher was lifting weights while his son hopped on the treadmill. But things took a bad turn when Christopher decided to speed up the treadmill. Cory struggled to keep up and fell off several times. Christopher tried to help by putting Cory back on, but the falls kept happening. Eventually, Cory tried to get back on the treadmill by himself, but it ended badly. He crashed into the moving belt and was thrown backward onto the floor, getting bruised in the process. In a shocking moment, Christopher seemed to bite Cory's head amidst the chaos. When Brianna, Cory's mom, saw his injuries, she urgently applied for custody, but her request was turned down. Moving on to April 1st, 2021. The same day, Brianna picked up Cory for a planned visit. Worried about his injuries, she took him to see a doctor, leading to further checks at a hospital. Cory was let go in the early hours of the morning, but little did anyone know, tragedy was just around the corner. On April 2nd, Brianna kept Cory overnight and returned him to Christopher at 9:03 a.m. Later that day, at 3:48 p.m., Christopher rushed Cory to the Southern Ocean Medical Center in Manahawkin. He told the doctors that Cory had woken up from a nap talking funny, stumbling, feeling sick, and having trouble breathing. During a CT scan, Cory started having seizures. Despite efforts to save him, Cory sadly passed away at 5:03 p.m. Christopher didn't hang around to see what would happen next. Instead, he left the hospital, driving to Tennessee before coming back to New Jersey the next day, April 3rd. Now that's pretty strange, right? An examination was done on Cory's body, which showed that blunt force injuries, including damage to the heart and liver, caused his death. However, the way Cory died remained uncertain at that time. On July 7th, 2021, Christopher was arrested and charged with putting Cory in danger because of the treadmill incident from March 20th. But even though this was a serious accusation, it didn't seem like falling on the treadmill caused Cory's death. Christopher was let out on bail and set free. In September 2021, Cory's case was looked at again by a forensic pathologist. The pathologist thought that Cory had been hurt by hitting something hard in the chest and belly, including cuts to the heart and liver and bruises on the lungs 4 to 12 hours before he died. What a gruesome end for such a young boy. Moving forward, on March 3rd, 2022, Cory's death was ruled a homicide. Shortly after, on March 9th, Christopher was arrested again and charged with first-degree murder. Christopher was held in custody without bail. The state's theory was straightforward. Christopher allegedly attacked Cory during their time together on April 2nd, 2021. Fast forward to April 30th, 2024, more than 3 years after Cory's tragic passing, Christopher's trial finally started. Christopher claims to be innocent. His lawyer says what happened on the treadmill has nothing to do with Cory's death. They say Cory died because he got very sick from pneumonia, not because of anything Christopher did. However, the state thinks differently. They think Christopher is responsible for what happened to his son. So, the big question is, did Christopher really do it? There are lots of things to consider, both good and bad for Christopher. Let's start with the bad stuff. On April 2nd, 2021, Christopher took Cory to the hospital, where Cory later passed away. No one else was with Cory before he died. An expert from the state said Cory's death was due to severe injuries. Instead of staying, Christopher left for Tennessee. 2 weeks earlier, cameras captured Christopher mistreating Cory on a treadmill. Cory told a doctor his dad made him run because he thought he was too heavy. Signs of Cory throwing up were found in his room at Christopher's place. The next day, Brianna contacted Christopher at 6:02 p.m., saying the police were looking for him. Shortly after, at 6:09 p.m., Christopher began searching the internet on his phone, asking if it could be tracked in airplane mode and if his car could be traced. He messaged his parents about his absence and asked them to care for his dog. On April 4th, at 9:58 p.m., he searched online about determining murder from an autopsy and the timing of filing charges afterward. At 10:21 a.m., he inquired about the time between an autopsy and filing charges. Christopher also falsely told a woman on Tinder he was heading to see his brother in Los Angeles when he was actually in Tennessee. Brianna claimed she reported several instances of mistreatment by Christopher against Cory, but her concerns were ignored. Some factors could potentially clear Christopher's name. His defense team pointed out that experts would testify Cory's demise was due to sepsis triggered by pneumonia. Regarding the other injuries Cory sustained, it suggested that medical interventions to save him might have caused them. Despite the alarming treadmill incident involving Christopher, it's evident those injuries didn't lead to Cory's passing. Moreover, doctors checked Cory after the treadmill incident. It's possible the severe injuries happened before he went back to Christopher's. Cory was with his mom until 1 a.m. on April 2nd. She left him with Christopher at 9 a.m. Christopher took Cory to another hospital, where he died around 5 p.m. According to a forensic pathologist, the injuries that proved fatal to Cory happened 4 to 12 hours before his demise. This indicates the attack occurred sometime between 5 a.m. and 1 p.m. During the initial 4 hours, Cory was with Brianna. Christopher's defense argued that when Brianna took her son to the hospital, she was advised he might have sepsis due to pneumonia complications. However, she chose to disregard medical advice and brought him to Christopher. This raises questions. If she was genuinely concerned about Christopher's influence, why did she make that decision? On the witness stand, Brianna confessed to past methamphetamine use. On the day Cory passed away, she even messaged her boyfriend to obtain methamphetamine. She further admitted to engaging in destructive behavior after Cory's demise, throwing objects at Christopher's parents' house. Whatever happened with Cory is truly heartbreaking and should never be repeated. So, what do you think about this case? Is Christopher solely responsible for the death of that little boy? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more mysterious stories. Thank you for watching.